Hi, I'm Danny with Skinner Guitars. For the next 8 minutes or so, I'm going to show you how I make my own custom router templates, just like these. And you can too. So let's get started. These full-size blueprint-style plans are available for download on the interwebs. I just did a Google search for exactly what I was looking for and found this. I had to have it plotter printed at Office Depot, and it was like $30, which is way cheaper than buying a pre-made set of templates. I traced the templates that I wanted onto regular printer paper. I first used a ruler to get all the straight lines down and just freehand traced the curves. It's doable if you take your time. I used some sharp scissors to cut along my lines. Almost all of my smaller templates are made out of bigger ones that I no longer need, so I always have to cut a reasonable shape out of a weird scrap. After I cut my MDF scrap to an appropriate size, I use my paper template to draw my shape onto the MDF. I clamp my work down to the bench and cut out the shape with my jigsaw. Stay about 1/4 of an inch inside of my lines as I don't really trust myself with this tool. Anytime I get cocky, it jumps my line and I have to start over. I always err on the side of caution. Know your limits, am I right? Once I have the majority of the waste removed, I use a series of rasps and files to work my way carefully up to my lines. This is a fiddly and time-consuming process, but aside from a little effort and some time, it costs me nothing. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I will go to comical lengths to avoid spending money on something I can just make. It's not about the money, it's more of a principle thing. And I enjoy the process of doing this. But make no mistake about it, I am also wildly thrifty. I dream of one day rolling around in my piles of YouTube money and gold doubloons like Scrooge McDuck, but for the time being, here we are. Heavy sigh. If this were a big successful YouTube channel, I would just buy a bunch of templates and paradoxically have no money-saving tips and tricks to make videos about. Anyway, if you enjoy watching me do this type of thing, it would be fantastic if you'd like, subscribe, comment, and share to help me grow my channel. Thank you so much. A decent woodworking vise is nice to have for this kind of work. It's like having another set of hands. It's very handy. Whatever, it's important to note that I want to keep these tools as flat as possible while I work. My goal is to have the sides of the template as close to 90 degrees from the top and bottom as I can manage. That's the edge the bearing on the router bit will reference, so it needs to be square. In retrospect, I think this job would have been much easier if I'd used 1/2 inch MDF instead of 1/4 inch. This thin stuff can be sort of floppy if you get too much leverage on it. The fear of breaking it in half forces me to be somewhat gentle. 1/2 inch would be much more stiff and allow me to really go to town on it with my rasp and remove more material with each stroke. But this is what I had laying around, and although Home Depot is within 1/2 mile of my home, it is now well established that I am very, very cheap. Once I've hit my lines, I go back over all the surfaces with a medium grit sandpaper to make sure it's as smooth as possible, as any imperfection will translate to the surfaces being routed. Woodworkers sometimes use funny phrases that amuse my inner 12-year-old. For instance, this activity is commonly referred to as hogging off or hogging out material. I'm hogging out the bulk of the waste for this Jazzmaster control cavity right now. I'm feverishly hogging out this cavity. Don't look at me. That's how you say it. You want to remove as much wood as possible before picking up a router. The less work the router has to do, the less it wants to hurt you while you're using it. Routers hate working too hard, and if you force them to do it, they can make you pay a hefty price. If you think about it, it's one of the few hand tools that if it gets away from you, will just stay on and keep doing whatever. You don't hold your finger on a trigger, it doesn't shut off when you let it go. It's healthy to never let that fact wander too far from the top of your mind. Anyway, here I've finished hogging out my cavity, so I taped my template to the work to be done. You always want to move the router against the rotation of the bit. You want to move from right to left for outside edges and left to right on the inside edges. Going the wrong way is called climb cutting, and it is incredibly dangerous. If it doesn't feel like you're fighting the cut, your head's on backwards and you need to stop what you're doing immediately and recalibrate. Don't attempt to just keep doing it because it seems to be going okay. And for crying out Pete's sake, please always wear a respirator and face protection. You get one set of lungs and one face. Alright, I said the safety nerd stuff. I hope this still feels like fun. You see this nice clean cavity I've hogged out here? That's why we do this. Hope you've had as much fun watching this as I've had making it. Thanks for watching.